Yo, Ryan McGough, bodybuilder, entrepreneur, investor, father, husband in telecom and in telecom investments. And I'm trying to put out content to help anybody get the life that they want to get and be where they want to be. And today I'm talking a little bit about bodybuilding. As I hit the 4 weeks to the show mark, after 6 months of progressive, fat loss with the intent to keep as much muscle as possible. So a slow, progressive downward trend of cutting carbs, cutting fat, keeping the protein the same always, which is 225 grams. I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on now and just really because I am hungry. Like, if anybody thinks that I want to do this and like it means I just don't get cravings and I'm not like thinking about sweets and like donuts and cakes and like, you gotta be kidding. And when the kids get ice cream and like that kind of stuff and pizza, I'm like, oh my gosh, and I get a salad and some chicken, you know what I mean? It is definitely not the case that just something happens and I just shut off all the receptors and the things in my mind and the flip a switch, right? It really is just, in a great book to outline it is Atomic Habits, because it really just is laser focusing the habits, and one habit that's done correctly feeds into the next habit, right? And so it's habit stacking, habits. But to start all of that off, it's identity. Like, the one thing I listen in for it now because it's one thing that I did myself for so long. And it was just to be so, I couldn't make a decision myself. And even in the things that I said, I gave myself an out on everything. Oh, I'm trying to quit smoking. I'm thinking about this. I might do that. I may go back to school. I might. And so I gave myself an out for everything that I did because I never actually decided to do anything. So the one thing that precedes habits, right, which is in the process of habits, stacking habits on another, is how you compound, right, which was my video last time, how you compound your efforts to get to where you want to be. But it starts with habits. And the habits are just ingrained things in our minds that are very simple to do. There's a few rules that the book Atomic Habits talks about, and they are very true for anything that you want to do. Make it easy, put things in front of you, make them visible, right? All that. But all of that starts with identity, and the identity is the decision. So I have to go somewhere along the line, right? And I'll tell you when it happened for me, when I became the identity of a bodybuilder, right? It has to happen. The choice has to happen to become the bodybuilder before any of the results happen. So my identity didn't become, thinking about bodybuilding, maybe. I signed up for the competition, right? So once my name was on the paper, my name was on the sign-up sheet, I was like, okay, now I'm not going to make an idiot out of myself and get in last place and not know the movements and go, because that would just be a terrible idea, and that's not who I am. So knowing who I am, I'm somebody that if I'm going to go do something, I'm going to do it, right? I do that in all of my life. So when I sign up, I become the person that's going to do everything possible to go try to win that show, or at least do the best that I can with the intention to win, right? And so I sign up, my name on the sheet, and my identity goes from, oh, I'm thinking about this or that, or maybe a bodybuilder, maybe not. It became, I'm a bodybuilder, I am a bodybuilder, I am, right? Like my statement to myself is I am this, I am a bodybuilder. And then when I sign up on the sheet, I become, through the process of learning what bodybuilders do, how to best do it, having a coach, all of that, right? I become that identity first, and then when I'm I have a date now in the future, and I'm going to work as hard as I can to be the best that I can on that date. And then the process of that comes with better, doing the tasks, doing the diet, doing the workouts, doing the things, right? Which that comes from habit stacking, making sure I start out with fasted cardio, then I eat, right? Then I go to the gym right after, and then, all of that. And then the rest of the day, I have already done the things that I need to do for bodybuilding. I just need to complete my, my normal tasks and eat right and make sure I hit the numbers. So I have to track those things. So it's an all-encompassing thing. And actually what happens then is my process of starting out the day with some wins, get up, make my bed. I do a lot of huge morning routine things like, I'll get into those things later, but I add a lot of morning routines to my habit stacking list. And so then once like the middle of the day hits, usually I've already hit the gym. I have a bunch of wins. I've eaten a good breakfast. I've done fasted cardio. I've read parts of a book. And then that actually spreads into all other things in my life. Now it's going to be easier to make sales calls, all that kind of stuff after that stuff is done. So once the wins start happening, the momentum of getting wins is a lot easier after the fact of getting and starting out with wins, right? And so that is how everything happens, right? It is not that I just decide and I walk past those cookies and donuts and all the thing and I get one lick of ice cream. Like, no, I don't even, because I can't, because I am going to win this competition and all that. So that is how the process happens. But it's not that just suddenly all the temptations are removed and I want, and I get to just be void of all of that stuff, because I never rise above human. I just do a bunch of little things right, and then as a result of that, I get one little thing at a time makes it easier to do the next little thing, and that is stacking habits. So that's a little bit about bodybuilding and how it works, right? It's just one little thing on top of the next little thing, instead of just saying I wake up one day and I have no temptations and I'm not going to eat sweets and I'm not going to eat bad, food and foods that are too high in fats. It's just one little decision makes the next little decision a little bit easier. And I stay away from and put them out of my sight, all of those things, which is another habit stack, to make it obvious and easy to not do the things that are not, to do it in the things that I need to do, to make that obvious and easy. I put my vitamins out, right? I have mostly in the place in the fridge that I look the right things for me, and then to not have things in my view, right, of things that are destructive to my goal, right? So making it obvious and easy is one of the biggest things there too. So that's just a little bit about bodybuilding. I feel like I could give that out today, and how it all works, the process of starting and what you have to do to become that version of yourself. And then from there, then it's just about learning what the process to be a bodybuilder takes after the identity, which is habits, and using your habits to your goal, towards your goal, not away from your goal.